Hi guys, welcome back. We're gonna do chapter 1 of My Vow to My Liege. Liege? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that is it. Sorry, I'm trying to remember the name on top of my head. So, let's get started. Liege. My Liege. Ah. Chen Feng, is that you? My liege, you were talking in your sleep again. My chest. The sacred seal that is on my chest is hurting terribly again. It hurts to point that I can't even cry out. With trembling hands, I search for the thing that I need desperately. Where is it? Where could it be? My liege, the jade fish is over there. She's like, bitch, don't you see it? Me too. Phew. I press the amulet to my chest. I press the amulet to my chest as its icy coldness slowly eases the pain until it completely fades away. The pain is now replaced by a feeling of intense abhorrence. This vile sacred seal on my chest is proof of my detestable connection to the dragon god. Even now, with the monster seal up on the dragon hill, the vow that put me in this situation has yet to be broken. This torturous pain that flares up whenever and wherever has caused me lots of misery. Dang. The fifth watch has yet to arrive. When my loyal guard sees my pale and exhaustion expression, he gently continues to wipe away my cold sweat. Although he and I are long used to these situations, what feels really out of place is the dream that I just had. It felt so real. We just dreamt about the incident that happened 5 years ago. I am here with you. I give a bitter laugh. Chen Feng's loyalty is unquestionable, but we both know that this burden is mine alone to bear. Chen Feng, do you think that there is a problem with the seal? Could that be why the former king and our older siblings have entered our dreams, urging us to break the sacred vow as soon as possible? The only reason why you are having this dream is because death anniversary of the former king is drawing nearer. Is that so? Just take the jade fish for example. If the amulet made by the XiShi clan is still effective against the sacred seal on your chest, then shouldn't the seal that was made with the blood, sweat, and tears of the entire clan be affected as well? Blood, sweat, and tears. Flesh and blood is more like it. Now help us bathe and change our clothes. My liege, I think it might be better for you to take a break today, as you were quite distressed by what happened yesterday. Are you saying that we are unable to handle that pesky envoy from Ki? Chen Feng would not dare. Change our clothes. Okay, very demanding. Chen Feng assists me as I walk up to the throne. Luckily, the curtains are closed so no one can see how helpless their king is. Prime Minister, tell us, what is on today's agenda? Prime Minister? Your Majesty, Prime Minister Wu is not in court today. Is he ill? Yesterday, Prime Minister Wu was full of vigor yesterday as he debated with me what kind of illness could he possibly have today. Sorry, I'm trying to do as many accents and different voices as I can so you can differentiate what voice goes to who. I might not be a professional, but I'm trying, so give me the benefit of doubt. Then, does Minister Wu know the reason for the Prime Minister's absence? I don't know. I do not know. Other than the death anniversary of his father and brothers, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry guys. ZiXu has never missed a day of court. Excuse me. He comes in early every day to organize the reports and documents. That is why the other ministers have taken to call him Prime Minister of the Fourth Watch behind his back. But now it is already near the end of the Fifth Watch. I look towards Chen Feng. He nods his head in acknowledgement and quietly takes his leave. Ha! Even if you can't lose your Prime Minister in your kingdom's capital, then it's no wonder why you can't find our low-ranking officer. Yi, how dare you intrude our court of ninja? It was your king who agreed to let me search for my kingdom's missing officer in GouJian City. Your Majesty isn't your court within GouJian City. Well, aren't you eloquent? We understand that you have your duties to carry out, and that is why we have already sent guards to search outside the cities and surrounding villages. So please, do not worry. Your Majesty, you are only saying that to dismiss me. Our trivial officer obviously encountered some evil happenstance when he passed Tiger Hill. So why don't you let me search for him up there? The grave of the former king of Liege is up on Tiger Hill. How can you let an outsider like yourself disturb it? How would you encounter bandits if there was such an important palace to your kingdom? Stop being so persistent and be mindful of your manners. I'm afraid that is the Kingdom of Ninja that drew first blood. It is my sincerest wish the Kingdom of Ninja and Qi become close allies, and that is why I approached your Majesty on the topic of marriage. I didn't think your Majesty would be non-committal in giving us a simple yes or no in answer to the marriage proposal. And now your Majesty is hindering our search to save lives by brushing us off with excuse. How can we possibly ally ourselves with the Kingdom of Ninja? The envoy of FuChai have been repeatedly rude to your Majesty and to the Kingdom of Ninja. How long is your Majesty going to endure this mistreatment? Yi, are you threatening us? I wouldn't dare. I hope you understand that I'm still anxious. We also hope that you understand that when the envoys of Qi were granted an audience, we have no knowledge of the aforementioned archivil officer. Wow, they're really making me jumble up with these big words. My mouth's getting dry. And now you would slight your kingdom's ally just to look for someone as insignificant as him. Oh, no words. We have treated you and your men as distinguished guests, fed you the same food as we eat, and have even ignored the fact that you have intruded our court. Yet you scorn and humiliate us in front of all of our ministers and officers. Yes, get it, girl. How dare you, Yi? Before I can finish my sentence, everyone in the room has their hands on their hilts to the swords. Yi and his men take a few steps back in alarm. Yi collects himself and bows to me with a hand-on-hand salute. I think it's like this or like this. I don't know. It is I, the foreign envoy, who was rude. The missing officer is a family friend, so I hope your majesty would be gracious enough to forgive me for taking things too far. I kind of skipped a sentence. Sorry, guys. It's not important. Besides, if I were to fail the mission that My Liege has given me, that are joining our two kingdoms through marriage, then I would be grateful for the death sentence you would order me for being so discourteous to you. I got a little too excited. Sorry for skipping again. I'm so sorry. Don't hate me. I can't even backtrack, so. Okay. Sorry, my other job. Fine. Fine. It is only natural your heart would be troubled when such situations arise. Just when the ministers are about to protest in anger, I raise my hand to stop them. It is pointless to allow this arrangement to become personal, or for us to become the laughingstock of the kingdom. Mr. GouJian, in admiration for your loyalty, we will let you off this one time, but next time, we hope that you will be more discerning over what is more important. Thank you very much, Your Majesty. Actually, it is not we are unwilling to marry your kingdom's princess, nor we are trying to make things difficult for you. Has yet to be 3 years since the former king died, and we had hoped to review the marriage proposal after his approaching death anniversary. Please rest at the guest house for the next 2 days while we personally go to the Tiger Hill to find your missing officer. Since your majesty has promised me this, I will wait for good news. But if in 2 days you are still unable to find my missing officer, I will go to the Tiger Hill to personally look for him myself. Go then, jeez. Men, send Mr. GouJian back to the guest house and attend to his every need. Oh, please. Such a needy guy. I heave a sigh of relief. As I see GouJian leave, my body crumples involuntarily as I sit where I sit. Me right now, I need to sit up straight. My leg fell asleep. Well, let me drink water, guys. Ugh, my foot is falling asleep. Gotta switch positions. Oh, I just popped my knees. Okay, back to where we were. A pair of familiar hands steady me as a calm voice drifts to my ears. Oh, which candidate are you? Oh, it's still him. Before. He's gonna be more of a monotone voice. So, before the court was called to session, an attendant in white paid a visit to Prime Minister. After that, the Prime Minister had rushed off the city. In white? Could it be someone from the temple on Tiger Hill? The Prime Minister was indeed headed north. For the envoy of Qi to cause such an uproar over such a lowly official, we are afraid that there is more than meets to this eye to this simple diplomatic relationship. Chen Feng, bring us back to our chamber to change our clothes. We want to look for the Prime Minister personally. Understood. My foot is waking up and it's hurting. My liege, your clothes are soaked in sweat. Please rest in the palace instead. If our clothes are wet, then all we need to do is change into dry ones. True. Shower and then change into dry ones. Help us change into our clothes. Help us change our clothes. I wonder why she's saying are. Is it because like she has another being inside of her that she has to consider herself as are? Not sure. Oh. She has nice boobies. Really cute. Small titty committee. Okay. I spread my arms in front of the mirror to reveal a pale, thin body with hard lines and scars from years of practicing martial arts. She has beautiful hair. Yet I have the soft breast of a woman. See? This dude is a man, and just changing her just like that? Okay, I guess since they're royalty, they're used to people watching them change or having other people change them, so they're just used to it, like they don't care. Wow, that's the type of confidence that I need. Just change in front of anyone. Okay, not anyone, but you know what I'm saying. Look, this body has long been ruined beyond recognition. Girl, calm down. I bet it's not that bad. Looking at this art right now, you look good. You look fine. You look good. Yeah, you really do. There isn't an ounce of womanly features left. Bro, you have boobs right there. I can see them. I mean, if you take out the boobs, she kind of looks like a dude. Okay, back to the story. I am neither a princess nor a king. I am a monster. Me. It is only because the kingdom of Yue has a liege that we cannot continue to exist. Is that so? Then why do I have to be humiliated like this? Like I was today, and keep wasting my energy on Gun Sung Yi. I feel you, girl. Only a man can continue the family name. As long as I keep pretending to be a man, the kingdom of Yue can continue on for generations to come. And the other kingdoms would not dare trample on me. My liege, as the king, you are not inferior to any man on earth. Really? Maybe so. But people are superficial and would rather have a monster than a woman as their king. That's sad. My liege, why do you despise yourself so? Oh, myself? I no longer have a sense of self. Perhaps in a few more months, we would need to take a wife and have sons. Chen Feng, do you think that the sacred seal on my chest has changed a bit of its color? I have never looked carefully at it. Yeah, because it's right close to your boobs. He probably doesn't want to see that. Forget it. Once it turns completely black, our death will be imminent. Ah, that's why she's saying "our," because there's someone else in her. The envoys have already acquired the sacred artifacts from the various places. Soon, we will be able to break the sacred vow. Those are fakes, just like us. Your Majesty. That bitch. What is it? The Prime Minister has sent you a message. Chen Feng quickly steps out of the room, only to return with a tightly rolled up piece of cloth. Read. There is a change at the temple. Come quickly to Tiger Hill. The Prime Minister has good foresight. He knew what will go search for him. I beg that you be cautious, my liege, and send me to see the Prime Minister in your stead. This is urgent. Prepare the carriage. XiShi. The late coming spring grows grasses and trees lusciously green. Oh, that was a good sentences. Grows grasses and trees lusciously green. Oh, I like that. Overhead and Orioles sing. I think it's a type of bird. While winsome villagers tend shooting bring. I cannot admire this beautiful scenery before me, even though Chen Feng did not prevent me from leaving the palace. I take a revitalizing pill just to be safe. The bitter taste that fills my mouth serves as a constant reminder to protect this broken body. Suddenly, Chen Feng clutches the hilt of his sword. What is wrong? There are soldiers surrounding the caretaker's hut. Let's take a look. Your Majesty. Has something happened over here? I'm gonna do another one. Prime Minister Wu has ordered us to watch over the prisoner here in the caretaker's hut. He is suspected of murder. Murder? Murder means someone is dead. No shit, Sherlock. For Wu ZiXu to be so anxious, could it be that the victim is missing? I forgot how to pronounce that word. Let's skip it. Officer from the Kingdom of Yue, or as I push aside the soldier to go into the caretaker's hut, I hear a loud cry from within. Who is it? Hearing the familiar voice, my mind, foggy from the medication, suddenly becomes clear. I cannot go in as King of Liege. The Prime Minister has ordered that the prisoner not be allowed to talk to anyone. Aren't you someone then, Mr. Soldier? Shut up! Oh. I hear the muffled sound of heavy force hitting soft flesh. Stop! Everything goes silent inside the house. Although I do not want to rush headfirst into things, I cannot sit idly by and do nothing. Right. Until we have all the details, no one is to treat the suspect harshly. So harshly. Understood. The sound of galloping horses grows louder and louder behind me. Our first candidate! I turn around to see a pair of fierce, majestic eyes looking at me. A white-haired man reins in his horse and it looks down at me from its back. Woohoo! Prime Minister? Oh. He's Prime Minister? Wow. Prime Minister. I gotta learn how to pronounce his name right. Wu Zi. I'm gonna say Wu ZiXu. Wu ZiXu greets me casually with a hand-on-hand salute. He takes a slanted sidelong glance at the crude stone house where GouJian is being held. Oh, he has a very deep voice. I'm gonna try my best. Is this the appropriate time for you to concern yourself with that vicious ingrate, My Liege? You heard us. GouJian is still the King of Yue. After all, let's not go overboard. He lost the war to Liege and entered our kingdom as a slave. He should be treated like one. Wu ZiXu hardens the expression and throws me unceremoniously. My lips are so chapped that I can't even pronounce these words right. Unceremoniously onto the back of his horse. Oh! Which horse? Prime Minister! Chen Feng. Chen Feng, follow me. Wu ZiXu starts out in a gallop as he heads to the temple on top of the hill. He stretches out his thick arms to hold me firmly by the waist without the slightest intention of slowing down. Oh, he likes it fast. Although he was always done as he likes, he would never let me come to any harm. Oh, of course. I secretly let out a sigh as I lean my body against his. Oh, she's like, huh. The faint disgust stink of rotten fish wraps my... I thought it was coming from him. Maybe it's coming from something else. But I noticed then that Wu ZiXu's hand is stained with dried blood. Oh, he is dangerous. Are you hurt? This is the blood of the head priest. Oh, is this the reason you left the city at dawn today? The head priest sent word to me that men dressed in black had snuck into the forbidden temple. I needed to rush there and did not have time to inform you, my liege. Men dressed in black. Could it be? I don't know if I should wait for them to finish talking or should I like talk whenever I see the words. I don't know. Tell me in the comments below. They are the survivors of the followers once led by My Liege. 5 years ago, the former king and I exterminated all the followers of the dragon god HéLǘ. It's been a long while since I've heard from any of them. Since they had the audacity to enter the forbidden temple on Tiger Hill, they will probably come from the dragon god who was sealed there. How did the intruders get past the guards in Tiger Hill and into the forbidden temple? What did the head priest say? I'm still investigating it. The head priest is injured. I feel a sharp pain in my chest as I recall the aftermath of the failed attempt to execute the dragon god, as well as the nightmare I had this morning. Oh, she stopped. The smell of blood is getting stronger as we get closer to the temple. Lying in front of the temple gates next to some trees are 2 corpses covered in hay. Chen Feng parts the hay to look underneath it. One of the men is dressed all in black, and the other is just another warrior. The tattoos of the face of the man in black looks almost identical to the sacred seal on my chest. Okay, so I don't know how to do his voice. My liege. He's like, okay, hold on. I will figure it out later. My liege. An elegant and delicate-looking youth steps out the temple. It is the head priest, Shang Nan. The linen that is wrapped around his wrist shows traces of blood. Oh, so he's the head priest. He noticed the direction of my gaze. It isn't... I'm gonna do like a soft, deep voice. It is nothing serious. I'm sorry to have worried you, my liege. Where is this centurion who... I butchered that, I know I did. Who was on duty last night? We need to punish him for neglecting his duties. It would have been difficult for the guards to suspect a thing. The invaders were following up the dragon god. They came in the middle of the night in a group and used magic to infiltrate Tiger Hill. A group? They were 3 of them? I heard a scream before dawn broke and, fearing that some kind of evil was afoot, went out to investigate for myself. It was then that I saw 3 men dressed in black assaulting a teenager and a warrior. Was it the warrior lying over there? Yes, that warrior had been fatally wounded while trying to protect the teenager. Hearing the commotion, the invaders attempt to escape, but I stopped them. Even if you can use magic, the odds of winning 3 against 1, especially with hostage to consider, are not good. You have a point, my liege. By the time, I wasn't thinking clearly. It is only after I had killed one of them I discovered who they were. I wanted to leave one alive, but they managed to find an opening. The other 2 took the teenager and escaped. The head priest said that the 2 who escaped were injured. I have already sent people to track them down. Prime Minister Wu is very shrewd. I didn't want to disturb my liege with such sanguinary matters, and so I approached him instead. I was surprised when he told me about the missing archivil officer from Qi. The warrior clothing is different from the ninja army. I believe the kidnapped teenager is the missing officer, and the warrior was his bodyguard. I carefully examined the warrior's armor to find that if it is Wu ZiXu says, I have to admit, his powers of observation and deduction are very keen. These people must be the villains of Gongsun Yi spoke of, leaving aside the reason why they would kidnap someone from Qin. If they are trying to infiltrate the Forbidden Temple, they must be attempting to undo the spell that has sealed the Dragon God. I searched around the mausoleum and found nothing suspicious. There you go. And found nothing suspicious. We will still feel better if we could see it for ourselves. Prime Minister, we want you to chase down the 2 intruders. Oh, my bad. That was not his voice. It's my right voice. And that's not it. Okay. We would still feel better if we could see it for ourselves. Prime Minister, we want you to chase down the 2 intruders and rescue the oh my gosh, I can't. Arch-evil officer. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that word right. I will personally go and find him. Chen Feng, we want you to help the Prime Minister. Understood. Prime Minister, when you get back, we would like more details on why you think the King of Yue murdered someone. Understood. There is a clear pond behind my royal father's, HéLÜ's dedicated hall. Beside the pond is the hidden entrance to where the Dragon God is sealed. Looking at the sacred seal engraved on the stone tablets surrounding the pond, I involuntarily clutched the clothes covering my chest. Oh, the symbol. The beautiful and magnificent pattern depicts the endless dark abyss that has swallowed up the countless souls of ancient kings. I too am one step away from the abyss. Oh dang. There are no signs that anyone has entered the sword pond. It takes the 2 of us to open it after all. So even if the invaders had come here, they wouldn't have been able to get in. Ah, okay. We know that you have always been a cautious person, and so we are not just worried about what happened outside the sword pond, but also over the chief culprit who was locked up inside. I agree. I humbly ask, my liege, to please offer some of your blood. Okay. I make a small cut on my finger with the dagger. With the dagger, and press the bloody fingertip against the seal engraved on the entrance. The same seal at the bottom of the pond starts to get off a faint red light. Zhangdang casts a spell and magically drains the pond. Ooh. When the seal turns completely red, the bottom of the stone pond transforms into 2 doors that slide apart to reveal a flight of steps leading downwards. I take a deep breath and smell the faint stink of rotten fish. This girl has a problem with fish. Blood smells like fish. This smells like fish. Will like the fresh fish smell like fish or what? I am unsure if the smell is coming from outside the temple or from my memory of that terrible experience 5 years ago. PTSD. We follow the steps down and enter a spacious hall at the bottom. This is naturally formed cave. In the middle is an altar that was curved out of the cave itself. The walls are covered with spells that glow in faint fluorescent blue. 3,000 sacred swords that give off cold blue light are staked into the ground around the altar in the tight formation. In the middle of the altar sits a large bronze vessel, the Ding of Virtue. This brings to mind the nightmare from earlier on. It makes the image of the dragon's crushed head in the square vessel seem all too real. Ever since the Dragon God was sealed here 5 years ago, its resentment and hatred has infected the atmosphere to a great extent. Such a chilling air is not good for you, my liege, and you should not linger for too long. Sure, we want to take a look before we leave. Dang, she's like, I know. We're just gonna look, okay? Give me 5. I understand. I will lead the way. Zhangdan writes a spell in the air. The swords that were staked into the ground around the altar part to form a very narrow pathway. I approach the square ding and stroke it softly. Not only does the ding hold the resentment and hatred of the dragon god, it also holds that odd my own and those who have died. I walk halfway around the ding and am suddenly struck by something unusual on its surface. Head priestess. Can the ding be damaged by outside forces? The Ding of Virtue was made from a sacred text and was created when the Emperor of Zhao and the heavenly gods formed their pact. It is protected by godlike powers and cannot be damaged. Look over here. This is... We both turn pale as we touch the crack on the ding. Although it is very thin crack, it spans the entire belly of the ding and its edges are turning black. Oh, that must not be good. Your nation will crumble, families will be torn apart, everything you treasure will turn into ash and dust. My liege, this is not good, head priest. The sacred seal on her chest was acting up again this morning. No wonder you look so pale, my liege. If it hadn't been for that, we would have not come to the bottom of this pond. The followers of the dragon god are active right now, in this crack. Head priest, is the dragon god going to break free? Zhangdan clutches his hand tightly. An unfamiliar, terrifying stillness descends into the bottom of the sword pond. My liege, you are scaring yourself. The seal spell that was originally cast upon the dragon god had borrowed its power from the ding itself, but it only means to an end. As the years pass, it is to be expected that the ding is now worse from where. We only need to make the best of our time to find a sacred artifact that will exterminate the soul of the dragon god. Then the sacred ding will be good as new. For the past 5 years, the former king and us have tirelessly searched for such an artifact, but have yet to find neither hide nor hair of one. I'm assuming she would be the artifact. Like, she would be the one to hold the dragon, the god dragon sword, or whatever. I feel like she is. Watch. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. Sorry, I'm switching my leg. My leg is falling asleep. Even this ding has survived such bloodshed and sacrifice. The former king faced innumerable hardships and perils to take from it in the capital of Chu. I think Chu. If a sacred artifact is so easily found, can it still be called a sacred artifact? That's true. You got a point. For the entirety of his life, the former king thought of nothing but how to execute the dragon god, and he fought bloody battles to break the sacred vow. How can we forget his unfulfilled wish so easily? I tenderly stroke the crack of my father's final moments come to mind all too vividly. This is scary. ZiXu, our 3 sons were killed by the dragon god at Hectai. Xena is the only one left. For the past 2 years, she has borrowed her 3rd brother's name, FuChai, and has been taught by you. Now that the sacred seal has been passed onto her, our life is coming to an end. Our survival of the kingdom of Ninj will now depend on you. Oh, that kind of hurts my throat. Dang. If she can successfully ascend the throne, then you are to hold a secret wedding ceremony for her immediately. We cannot stop looking for a sacred artifact that will break the sacred vow. Our bloodline will come to an end. He does it better. The dragon god deceived our ancestor, and since then, every generation of kings has paid the price with their bodies and souls. But they will be able to live on in peace and prosperity. They are too naive. Iris, you are the only one who can inherit our will. ZiXu will help you remove all the obstacles in your way. Oh, I thought he was gonna cough again. Remember, only by using your own blood can we take back our rightful destiny, thus guard the righteous way of heaven. Forget not your revenge, and swear to break the sacred vow. I made my mouth dry. Where's my water? Oh, here it is. Sorry. Gotta drink water. Intermission break. I totally forgot how to voice him. We will forget our revenge. Oh, that's me. We will forget not our revenge, and we will swear to break the sacred vow. No matter what, we cannot let the dragon god escape and become a blight on the people of this kingdom. I understand, but haste makes waste. The Shi clan was the most powerful clan of mages in all of Yue, and even then, it took the lives of the entire clan to seal. Oh, sorry. Sorry. To seal this. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh! Wow, that was an unnecessary and disturbing burp. It took the lives of the entire clan to seal the soul of the dragon god. We must be even more vigilant. So even if we worry ourselves to death over this whole affair, it will be all for naught. Even if it's urgent, we will still have some time. We do not need to drive ourselves to our aforementioned deaths. Zhengdan raises his eyebrows as his facial features finally relax. I don't know if he is trying to reassure me, or if he is confident that everything will be well. We will persist in looking for a sacred artifact while we continue to rely on you to stabilize the sealing spell. Understood. But I hope that my liege will promise me one thing. What is it? Do try your best to sigh as little as possible. Sighing will just cause your luck to run out faster. He's indirectly talking to me as well, because I sigh a lot. Not too much, but a decent amount. And I don't want my luck to run out faster, so I'm gonna limit my size. Zhengdan puts his finger on the corner of his lips to release a sly smile. I cannot help but nod my head. I keep feeling a sharp stabbing pain in my chest, and wonder if it is because of the cold that I feel from being at the bottom of the pond. My liege, head priest. Have you found him? Chen Feng and I went our separate ways to search, but I couldn't find anything in the hills to the north. So I sent Chen Feng with some reinforcements. Prime Minister, please wait. My liege has taken a seat before continuing. Men, give our liege a hot bowl of soup. My liege, you were at the bottom of the pond for so long. Has something happened? There is a long crack on the sacred ding. We don't know if it is doing of the dragon god's followers, or if the sealing spell is wearing out. It would be hard to get the ding through the sword pond with just 3 followers. Is the Prime Minister trying to suggest that the dragon god's followers did not come here to break the sealing spell? I agree with the Prime Minister. Why would they kidnap someone from Qi and cause such a commotion when the way to break the spell is known to be secret? Unless the goal was to kidnap the archivil officer. I'm gonna say A officer from now on. I can't pronounce that word for some reason. That is a possibility. They must still resent us for executing their followers and burning down their temples. Well, yeah, duh! Kidnapping the A officer was probably their way of taking revenge. Wouldn't it be easier to assassinate us instead? You are right, but it would not be the most effective way. ZiXu raises his eyes to look at me, expecting me to infer what he means by the most effective way. After pondering it for a while, the cold that hot soup had rid me of is slowly starting to creep up again from my feet again. I don't know, that sentence didn't make any sense to me. Taking someone from Qi hostage and forcing us to open the way to the sword pawn would enable the dragon god to escape, which would destroy GouJian immediately. If we refuse to meet their demands, they may still kill the victim and cause a break in diplomatic relations between Yunji and Qi. What a malicious plan. We want you to find the perpetrators, even if you have to dig 6 feet under to do it. Oh, dang. The spilled blood of my father and brothers must be repaid with blood. ZiXu and Zhangdan raise their hands in pledge when suddenly the doors are pushed open as Chen Feng hurries in. My liege, I found traces of the insurgents on the south side of the temple around the Crane Stream. Good. We will personally go and cut off their heads. My liege, your health. We are fine, but to be on the safe side, we would like to rely on you in the safeguard of the temple. Understood. From a quiet spring flows forth a tranquil stream. A few white cranes feed leisurely by its side. Gazing at this peaceful scenery, one might not think of the bloodshed that had happened here just a night ago. My liege, look over there. The trail of blood is fairly fresh. It is highly possible that it was left by the insurgents. How ingenious of them to use the stream to escape. Any traces of them would be washed away. Tiger Hill is in a big place, and there are soldiers stationed at the foot of it. Right now, this hill is crawling with people, so it would be very unwise of them to hide in the forest. Where does the Crane Stream lead to? To the north, it flows into Moon Lake. To the south, it flows to the river just outside the GouJian city. After examination, the blood tracks, I determined that the insurgents have split up and went into 2 different directions. There are many mountains around Moon Lake, so it would be easy to hide there, but the river outside of GouJian is very busy with boats coming to and from, so it would be easy to escape there as well. Prime Minister Chen Feng, which direction do you think they would have most likely taken? Since the intruder is injured, it would be easier to hide amongst the masses to find an opportunity to leave GouJian. I say Moon Lake. What do we choose? Should I trust Chen Feng or this Hani Mikani? Obviously. Wait! Is Chen Feng one of the choices? No, I don't think he is. We're gonna go with this hottie. Yeah, we're gonna go with this hottie. The river outside the GouJian is the foot of this hell. Even with a hostage, it would be easy for the insurgents to escape there. Since it's already noon, we are afraid. No need to worry. This morning I gave an order to seal up the foot of this hill and detain all boats that were en route 2 through Tiger Hill. Good. The Prime Minister has already taken action, so we will depart immediately for the river outside of GouJian. Chen Feng, take some men south with you. Do not hesitate to kill anyone who is acting suspicious, even if they seem to be bait. Dang. Understood. I think I totally forgot how to voice Chen Feng. Woozy. I'm gonna say woozy. I'm gonna say woozy. And I take a carriage down the mountain. Although it's more comfortable, it is also slower. The more I think about the situation with the A officer, the angrier I get. Prime Minister, can't we go any faster? I've already sent our strongest soldiers to keep an eye out for the insurgents, the followers of the Dragon God. The house just kind of shook a little bit. Not shook a little bit. There was a weird noise that just... Okay, I'm really paranoid. I need to stop. Back to reading. I'll restart. I have already sent our strongest soldiers to keep eye out for the insurgents. The followers of the Dragon God will have no opportunity to escape or hurt anyone. So the reason you are so calm right now is because you already knew that the followers of the Dragon God would appear. Even though both Mage X and the head of the Shi clan were mages serving the Dragon God, do you know what the differences was between them? We remembered that they have served us for over 100 years, but Mage X did a lot of things in secret, such as I'm so sorry, it's already late at night. Prioritizing, there you go, the Dragon God first. I know how to talk, guys. Okay, please. Give me a break. And the King's orders second. Towards the end, he even defied the orders of the King. That's right. At the time, the former King wanted to break away from the Dragon God, but Mage X called together all the disgruntled people to dedicate their souls to the Dragon God in exchange for extraordinary powers. So that is why all the followers of the Dragon God hated the former king and made a contract with him that was impossible to back out of? That's right. At the time, the former king wanted to break away from the Dragon God, but Mage X called together all of the disgruntled people who dedicated their souls to the Dragon God in exchange for extraordinary powers. People want power. And that's still happening today. And ain't that the truth? Ah, they hate us, and we hate them. We will not forget the shame, but we had to live with all these years. It would be a comfort to the former king to know that you, my liege, have not forgotten your need for vengeance. It feels like he is going to pat me on the head like he used to when I was a child. Ah, so he's a candidate. Oh, that is a little weird. Okay. But with the turn of my head, everything goes back to normal. We are here. Look over there. I turn to see where Wuzi is pointing. Lined along the blanks are boats of various sizes, their captains kneeling at the bow of their individual ships. Wuzi follows behind me as I walk by the first boat. If I wasn't used to him, I would be like the captains of these boats, trembling of the aura of his murderous intent. Ooh. An old boat catches our attention. It is blackened with dirt. The captain has also prostrated himself so low that you could see a pile of dirty sails bunch up in a clump behind him. Although there was nothing special about it, something doesn't seem quite right. Is there anything else inside there? Ruiz suddenly walks up onto the boat. His voice is deep and his speech slow, causing all who hear it to feel a deep sense of threat. However, the captain does not even lift his head. I suddenly realize the danger and discreetly pull out my sword. My phone. While the rest of the detained captains are watching us with great interest, only this boat captain fails to move a muscle. Answer me. The captain then leaps up abruptly. Ruiz is ready for it, and with a wave of his sword, he cuts down the man. Oh, this way. The body of the captain falls into the water. After a moment of stunned silence, all the captains who witness it suddenly go into an uproar. Ruiz lifts up the dirty clump of sail, and underneath it lies hidden a comatose youth. The youth is wearing simple clothes, but they are more refined than a commoner's. He has thin shoulders, a slender waist, and a face that is no longer than my palm. Rather than a delicate youth, it might be more convincing to say that he was a girl who had just turned 15. This must be the A officer from the Kingdom of Yue. Ruiz shoots me a look and tells me to stop talking. Revealing such secrets will only bring more trouble. Well, damn, yeah! Why would she say that out loud? I approach the unconscious girl and watch her breathe steadily. She doesn't appear to be injured, but her hands are clutching something tightly to her chest. Oh, it's a dagger. She is clutching a dagger under her sleeves. The guard of the dagger is covered with the intricate design of a bird with precious stones for her eyes. It is very beautiful. It is. Oh, shoot. Never mind. I'm burping a lot. Prime Minister, did you see that? Ah, my computer's about to die. Yikes, I thought I had it charged this whole time. Sorry, intermission break again. Let me go ahead and charge it. Okay. Prime Minister, did you see that? Oui. This is no ordinary dagger. We need to examine it more closely. I wasn't talking about that. An uncomfortable feeling washes over me. I reach out to take an inauspicious dagger away from the girl, but when I touch it, my chest. My liege! It hurts so badly. I think I fainted. Oh. So that is the end of chapter 1, and I will leave it at that. So if you want to continue watching to watch this series, chapter 2 will be uploaded very soon. So I'll see you then. Bye.